Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Spotlight. I am Matthew Pirante-Pérez. Spotlight viewers who love music and theater will be happy to know that someone prominent from these fields is joining us in the studio today. Let's all welcome the multi-hyphenate performer, Markki Stroem. How are you, Markki?
Okay, multi-hyphenate. Okay, thank you very much.
Multi-hyphenate, yep.
I am honored. I'm doing awesome. I'm having a blast. 2023 is starting.
Yes, it is.
And like by the time this is going to be on, it'll be the end of retrograde. So life is going to be so much easier to deal with.
Well, here's hoping. Here's hoping.
Here is
definitely.
hoping. It's not that I am one to to rely on zodiac and the moons to know how my career is going or how my life will go. But I tend to follow not signing contracts on the retrograde season
On the retrograde season.
for some reason. It's worked so far.
It's worked so far.
13 years in the industry.
13 years in the industry. It's worked so far.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try that. I think I'm gonna try that.
Follow the
I'll-
stars.
Follow the stars. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really. There's nothing wrong. You won't lose anything
You
by
won't.
following.
You won't. You won't lose anything at all. And as the thing about it's really funny. Like this is something I learned very recently. But like there's like the medieval zodiac, and then there's like the modern zodiac. Medieval, they really tell you as it is, right? If you're gonna have a bad year, you're gonna have a bad year. But if it is like the now zodiac,
Okay.
they're usually nicer. They usually tell you the good side of things. No worries. You're going to have a good year. You just have to do this, that, and the other.
So it's a little
So,
ambiguous.
It is ambiguous. A little bit
Right.
more ambiguous. And yeah. I mean, I am not in any way, shape, or form a zodiac person, but it's one of those things that you look at the beginning of the year that I have done in the past few years.
I haven't. I'm gonna get to that.
Time to start.
Like after the show, I'm gonna get to that. All right. Speaking of getting to that, let's get right to it. First of all, Markki, we know how busy you can get with different projects and all. We'd like to know how grateful we are to have you on the show today. As
Oh,
you know,
thank you.
people were thrilled, and so am I.
Yes, I am very, very happy to be here today. Luckily, it happened because, well, I fly out of the country tomorrow for my first vacation in a long time. In a long, long, long time. So I'm very, very excited to just, relax, fly over to Bangkok and just enjoy my time with my brother because my brother's here for maybe a couple more weeks and then he flies back to Norway. So he's been around. Well, he's the captain kasi of the Volcanoes.
Okay.
Rugby team.
Rugby
So
team.
he's a sportsman,
Right.
and it's very rare that I get to spend time with him. And as the captain, he doesn't just stay in the Philippines. He also has work in Norway, so he flies back
Flies back
in
and
a
forth.
couple of weeks. So I'm just gonna be having a blast spending time with him and a couple of friends.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm very thrilled for you. I haven't gone on vacation for a while.
It's time. I think it's time to go on vacation.
All right, I will clear my schedule.
Yes.
I'll figure something out. But you know what? Yeah, I think I just might.
Yes.
I think I just
It
might.
is something that you should do because once you take a little bit of a break, your mind clears, your passions come back, and then you start to realize certain facets about life that you didn't realize because life is going so fast in your monotonous everyday life. I'm not saying being a journalist is monotonous because I
It
am
is
also
not.
in media, but I'm just saying like it's also good to take a break.
It's a lot of things. We both know, being people working in the industry,
Yes.
both in the acting field and in the journalism field.
Yes.
It's a lot of things.
It is.
It is
It
never
is.
monotonous.
It is never. There's so many things happening on a daily, but sometimes it's good to take it slow. Like John Legend says, take it slow. We're
Right.
just ordinary people.
My reference is much older than that.
Oh.
It's a song from 22 years ago. I don't even remember the title.
Ah. Ah.
You
Which
remember
one?
I think it's freestyle. So slow.
Ah, so slow, so slow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. But
yeah.
I think Ordinary People was a similar time. Ordinary People was one of the first songs of John Legend. That was around 2004, 2003.
Probably.
So it's similar time.
Similar
They
time.
both took it slow at the same time.
All right, so I'm pretty sure our viewers are looking forward to learning more about you, as am I.
Yes.
Most especially with the many things that you do. You host a radio show.
Yes, I'm on the Morning Rush every morning. 25-year-old radio show with my 36-year-old co-host, or he likes to believe he's 36, Chico Garcia. And it used to be Chico and Delmar, but Delmar
Way
is
back
now
then.
with a husband and children and lives in the States. So now
Yes.
it's Chico and Hazel and myself. Hazel used to be the head of the evening show called Wild and Wicked. And yeah, now we're together in the mornings from 6 to 10 a.m., Mondays to Fridays,
6 to 10 a.m. So you're going to be
I'm a
gone
morning
for...
person.
How long are you going to be gone?
a week.
A week. So
And I had to take leave. I was like, okay, I can't take leave. None of us can take leave during Christmas. We're not allowed to.
Not at all.
Everyone has to be on board, even on Christmas Day. Well, last Christmas was different because it was on the weekend.
Yeah.
But during the normal week,
We're always there.
we're always there. We wake the folk up. I don't go out. I don't party during New Year's. Well, I do, but only until a certain time because I have to be at work at 5.
Of course.
Yeah. So
We
It's
always
life.
have to show up.
yes, we do. That's part of our job.
It sure is. All right. You were born Marcelo Angelo
Yes.
Stroem. Tell us about your parents.
My mom is Filipina. Her name is Leah Stroem, or Leah Ledesma Stroem. And my dad is Rune Stroem. So he's Norwegian.
Yes.
And my dad worked for the Asian Development Bank for a long time. Did a running race in the Philippines as an expat. My mom is a fitness girl, so she was the head of this running race.
Okay.
He won first place and my mom's heart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the rest is history. Actually, most of us, my entire family are sports inclined. So I actually used to compete with the youth national team in triathlon when I was much younger. So when I was around 12 to 19, that was my focus. I was really like into the sports. And
Okay.
I was even featured in Milo as the biker back in the day. And I thought that I would be in sports until the end, but then I burnt out because when you're 16 and you can't go out with your friends because you have a race the next day and you have to run 2 hours, bike a certain amount of time every weekend and swim in the mornings, it takes a toll.
It takes a toll,
Yeah.
especially when, we're teenagers. And,
Yeah.
well, we were. We're not teenagers anymore, but
We
were
are not
teenagers.
anymore, no.
And we also want to spend time with our friends, experience and explore the things that normal teenagers do. And
Yes.
sometimes there is, I wouldn't say undue, but sometimes the expectations that are set, particularly for
True.
people in sports, people in the industry. I know this because this
Yeah.
is also something I went through. you
Yeah.
know. We tend to miss out on those
On
things.
life.
Yes, on life in general. That's right, on life. We miss out on life, and when we look back on it, we're like, why don't we do this? Why didn't we get to do
Yes.
this? And now, if we want to, I'm sorry to say, but sometimes we're like, I'm a little too old to be doing that now.
Yes. I know how you feel, and which is particularly the reason why when I went off to college, I decided that it wasn't for me. I don't think that it would be something that I could continue doing,
Yeah.
especially because I studied abroad. So that is why I ended up just focusing on singing.
On singing.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yes.
before we get to that, Marcello sounds more Italian.
Yeah, because my aunt's a nun, and she was a nun in Italy.
Okay.
So, and when she was back in Manila, on her like leaves or whatever you call them,
Yeah.
she told my mom to call me Marcello Angelo, named after this Marcellino Panevino, who's this saint,
Oh, okay.
which is ironically, I did not turn out to be very religious, but
well,
Marcello and then Angelo, angel. So there you go. That's where the first name came from.
my guess was so far off. My guess was so far off. I guess it would have been more fitting if it was Marcello Mastroianni,
Yes.
Italian film star, and
Oh,
here
yeah.
you are Marcello. You are also an actor.
You know what? Maybe that's what I'm going to go with from now on. I'll change my history. That is my origin story.
That's your origin story now, named after Marcello Mastroianni.
Okay, I'll use that. MM.
MM.
There you
All
go.
right. So you finished your studies with merit and honors at the Glion Institute of Higher Education in Switzerland with a Bachelor of Arts degree in hospitality
Yes, and yep, I'm
and
marketing.
management.
So, yeah, I did. I decided. This is the story. I actually told this before because I think you guys came to interview me for my concert in CCP, which was last year. It was for the Triple Threats series for actors in the theater field who
Okay.
have, well, 13 years in the industry, have made their mark. And interestingly enough, I basically spoke about how I started. I started in the industry actually not in 2010 when I auditioned for Philippines Got Talent, but when I auditioned for Philippine Idol, and that was in CCP.
Right.
So what happened was I really wanted to get into the entertainment industry right after I finished high school, but my mom was like, "No, you got to go to college first." And because
Which
I
is
got
fair.
into, well, university in Switzerland, I was going to fly out, but it was during the time when I was in the top 24
Oh.
for Philippine Idol. So I had
Right.
to get pulled out of CCP, and then they flew me out, and I wasn't talking to my mom for a while. But after, I was happy that I followed her, her will, because now I have a degree. And when I graduated, it was actually interesting because I graduated with honors, and I also was part of this honor society that allowed me to work for one of the 8 top hotels in Europe under the general manager. So it was either that or Philippines Got Talent. And I chose Philippines Got Talent because that's what I wanted to do ever since I was a kid. And 13 years later, I'm still doing what I love.
Wow,
There
isn't
you
that
go.
inspiring?
Yeah,
You know,
well, I
it's
mean, for anyone who wants to pursue what they love to do every day, no toxic positivity here.
no toxic
But if you
positivity.
want to do what you love every day, love it. Because when you love something, you won't let it go. Even if it gets hard, just just stick to it and love what you do. And if it makes you the money that you need, good. If it doesn't, make it a hobby. Because you want to be happy. It's your YOLO. You only have one life.
Do it anyway.
Yeah.
If not for the money, at least for the passion. If it
For the
doesn't pay the
love.
bills, find something. But
Yeah.
whatever it is that you wanted to do it. For the love of it, do it.
Do it. Yeah, that's what it is.
Because
Just-
that's exactly what happened to me.
yeah.
In my case, it was an accident.
Okay.
I became a journalist by accident. you know.
Okay.
This is something I've always wanted to do, but I was more on the corporate side.
Okay.
I was not relate my job had absolutely nothing to do with media. I was in human relations.
Okay.
Sorry, human resources. I was in
Ah.
human resources.
You have to be
and
friends with this one. You don't want to get fired.
I was in human resources.
Yeah.
And I got invited to write.
okay.
So they said they wanted an investigative piece. I didn't. What do I know about investigative pieces? I didn't
Yes.
even take up journalism. I went with my gut. I did it anyway. And then I was summoned to the newsroom. Did you write this? Yes, I did. By the way, disclaimer: my aunt works as the associate editor for that particular magazine, but I'm no nepo baby. Not at
Yes.
all. Not at
Oh,
all.
that's a thing now. No, the whole nepo baby
the whole
thing.
nepo baby's a thing.
Ah,
but
yes.
no. So I got summoned to the newsroom. My
Okay.
editor in chief summoned me. Did you write this? Yes, I did. Did you get any help from your tita? No. I was sweating bullets. I tell you, I was so scared. No. Anything plagiarized? Absolutely not.
And that's easily checked now, right?
And then yes, that's easily checked now. And this was just 5 years ago, mind
Yeah.
you. And when he looked at it, he said, "You know what? I like this. I think I'm going to keep you."
Okay.
And it just kept going and going.
That's the thing.
And going.
Right?
And now I'm here.
Yeah. So there you go. See? Case study.
I'm
if
the
you,
case study.
if you love what you do and you really put your mind to it and your heart to it, even if like people, the whole nepo baby thing, it's not even a thing. It's more if it's something that you love to do and you want to do it for the rest of your life. This is something I heard from Sister Act 2. If you wake up in the morning and all you want to do is sing, then you're meant to be a singer.
There's only one thing I remember from Sister Act. I'm not even sure if it's one or two. The one where Maggie Smith was.
The two.
Two.
I think it's one, two, both of them.
Which one was directed by Emil Ardolino?
I have no idea. All I know is that the first one,
They were on the run.
Yeah, the other one, okay, the other one she was teaching kids.
Okay. The one I saw was when they went to the convent. They went there. It was a refuge for them.
Ah, okay, that's Sister Act 1.
Sister
Sister
Act
Act 2 is the iconic one. That's
That's
where
the Back in the Habit.
yeah, Back in the Habit, where
Yeah.
she's trying to teach the kids how to sing.
I saw that as well. But
Yeah.
the funny thing I remember is when they asked Maggie Smith and how wonderfully she delivered it, because she was the mother superior or the abbess. I'm
Yeah,
not
she was the
exactly
Mother
sure.
Superior.
And then they said, I thought this was a place for charitable something, something. And then she just had this look on her face.
Yes.
No, no, no. I lied.
Ah.
That was hilarious. And that's what I remember most about Sister Act. But, now that you've mentioned it, I think I'm gonna revisit both 1 and 2.
It's time to go back to older movies. I
I would
think
say
that's
so.
you get so many good quotes and life lessons from older movies. Actually, newer movies as well. Just I always make time. Well, other than the fact that I report on series and movies on and all sorts of platforms like Netflix and HBO, but you just gotta go and watch these movies and check out these amazing actors. As an actor myself, I want to see how these people deliver certain lines, and then sometimes I use it when I have to take on certain roles.
Now that you've mentioned Sister Act and, they were teaching kids, I believe people want to know, how did you become a contemporary crooner?
How did I? Okay.
It
Well.
started with Got Talent, or was it something you've always wanted before that?
Okay. So, well, I sing jazz, or I sing 50s, 40s, or pop songs I take back to the 1940s, 1950s, because my grandfather was a big fan.
Okay.
So I used to sing for him, and it kind of stuck. And I did musicals like Jersey Boys and Sideshow. I usually do a lot of plays that are, on periods, certain period pieces. I think I have completed the decades past. 1920s, Sideshow, 1940s, Mula sa Buwan, 1950s, Sideshow, 1960s, Hair, 1970s, Angels in America. Oh, no, that's 80s.
80s.
70s. What did I do 70s? Well, basta. I think Awitin Mo't Isasayaw Ko.
Oh, yeah.
So literally, I've completed the entire spectrum from the 20s all the way up to 2000s, and it's just something that I enjoy doing, researching how people live their lives back in the day, and basically putting myself in that same era as an actor. Sorry,
And how did you find
Tend to
yourself,
jump from one
on
thing to the
stage? Well, jumping from one medium to another is something that is, I wouldn't say expected of us, but it's a given. It will always
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
You can be a singer, and then before you know it, you will find yourself acting for the small screen, the big screen. If you'll find yourself on stage. And speaking of stage, how did you find yourself on stage?
Well, I started off again. I did Philippines Got Talent, which we spoke about a while ago, because after graduating, I went straight to that.
Yes.
And then after finishing Philippines Got Talent, they always say the race is after the reality show. Meaning, even if you didn't win, but you got to a certain point where people remember you, you only really showcase what you do, the staying power, after.
Okay.
So, well, I've survived 13 years. So I'm still here, and I'm still fighting and doing what I love every day. So I tend to be a really hard worker with everything that I do. So I give my heart and soul to everything I do, and I don't allow anyone to hinder that. If anyone tries to put me down, it's automatic block. Before it used to hurt me.
Automatic block.
I used to be so sad. I used to be so depressed with how people thought or perceived me. Now I just don't give an F. I just block. It's just how life is. You don't want it to be a hindrance to your mental health,
I would agree.
right?
Yes.
So that's what happened. After finishing Philippines Got Talent, I was sustained through theater.
Through theater.
I just finished my 10th musical production last year,
Okay.
and I was also featured for CCP's Triple Threats
Okay.
concert series, one out of three, I guess, top actors in the thespic theatrics, and I've enjoyed what I do on a regular basis. I've been able to put on different hats, and I get to really explore certain facets of my skills as an actor, not just as a singer, but as a dancer and an actor and whatever it is I need to be at any given point. And every year I try to test myself to do something new.
That reminds me of something that I read before. This is from Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
Katharine Hepburn said actors should act because sometimes if you're just always doing movies or TV shows, it tends to get stale.
Yeah.
But actors, in between these movies or in between these TV shows, actors should take to the stage because that is where you are pushed to your limit
yeah.
and you are always in tip-top shape when you're on stage.
Yes. And it's also because there is no take two.
There is no take two.
It's one take from
Sure, there are
the
rehearsals. Sure, but still, when you're there, that's it.
beginning. Yeah. If you mess up, you mess up. Like I was saying a while ago. There's someone who writes for the Tribune, who's a really good friend and has watched me in most of my plays. And there were days when you don't do as well as you normally do. And then there are days when you do better than you thought you would ever do. And
You surprise yourself.
I surprised myself. But, on the day that I say, oh no, Gibbs Caddish watch.
Oh,
Wala
Gibbs.
sub one today. I am so sad I didn't do, like my voice wasn't up to skill today. But it happens because there is no take two. You really have to just give it your all. Even if you mess up, you just gotta keep going. You can't stop. Like, I remember one time I did the Angels in America in 2019 with the late Sherry Hill. And I was...
Bless her.
Bless her soul. I love her to death. Me and Nelsito Gomez, the guy I was acting in front of, had a scene.
Right?
And it was one scene that we do all the time. But this particular show was a little scary for me because it was in front of Ricky Lee and a lot of other really big writers and people in the industry like Angelica Panginiban, like Mylene Dizon. Some of my favorite actresses and actors were there watching. And for some reason, I'm not usually as scared as I was when I went up and performed. But I missed the line.
You did.
I did. I missed. This was the first time I actually really flubbed, and it's not that I tripped over it, but I missed it. And Nell was looking at me, and he kept trying to ad-lib to get me back to where I was gonna get.
Like,
And I
take
started to
cues from
ad-lib.
what I'm saying.
And fortunately enough, I knew my character so well, and he knew his character so well that we created something different with the ad-libs that we created.
Yes.
Allowing everyone in the audience to laugh, calming me down a little bit more, and getting me back into the next part of the show. It isn't part of the script, but you have to.
You have to improvise.
Keep
You
going.
have to make do.
You can't. If you f up, you gotta keep going. You can't just stop because what? You just kind of cut the show. Sorry guys, I forgot my lines. We're gonna have to start from the very beginning again. Thank you. No, you can't do that. It's you can't.
You just can't.
Like I also remember one other time. This is what do you call that? Master class. I was in Next to Normal. I was in Next to Normal, and there was one actor who forgot his line, and he just This is okay. So the story is Menchu Lauchenko Yulo is
Okay.
bipolar in the show, and she is just finding out from her psychopharmacologist that she is bipolar.
Okay.
So he just completely forgets to say that she's bipolar, which is the basic premise of the show. So he walks out. She just goes, "Huh? Did I hear that right? I'm bipolar?" Because it had to be said. So, and then everyone in the back, everyone backstage was like, "Oh my gosh, she saved it," because that was the basic premise. If, like, I mean, how are you supposed to know why she's acting weird, like serving sandwiches on the floor, when she doesn't talk about the mental health issue which is at play in this story? So it just happens. That's how theater works. It's a one take kind of thing, and you just got to keep going. Got to keep going.
Theater is the only thing. Theater is the one thing I've only tried once in my teenage years, but I know how challenging it must be.
Oh,
and,
it is.
You
It's
know,
incredibly
but
challenging.
that's what Katharine Hepburn said. If you're in theater, as an actor, it prevents you from being soggy. That's the term that she used. It prevents you from being soggy as a performer, as an actor. It's always take to the stage.
Yes.
And speaking
yes.
of, speaking of your journey, your 13-year journey, what was your first project in the entertainment industry? Post,
Got Talent.
yes.
It was. I would like to think that my first project was next to normal. Um, I mean, I did other TV and movie stints, but
Yeah, but
I don't.
like
That
the
does not.
notable one.
It doesn't really qualify for me. I mean, I did a couple, but my problem with the industry is that everything is so quick.
Okay.
They'll give you the script, they'll tell you to learn it like this, and then
Mm-hmm.
I understand that's how it works, and that's how TV is, and I've been doing it now for 13 years, and I did 2 series last year, 1 movie, but until this day, the reason why I love theater is because of the preparation that goes into it, and the ability to really go deep into the character, not just the tip of the iceberg because you have to because of time constraints.
All right.
Then it's just my thing. That's why Next to Normal would be the first project that I would say that I really was made a name for myself and really became that theater guy, because it really allowed me to grow next to some of the biggest veterans in the industry. Sorry, there are some people kasi who are saying that theater actors shouldn't be overrun by veterans.
What?
Yeah, there was some guy who wrote something about some theater that veterans should not, that it should be given to people who are just starting off. And I'm like, no, you need to give it to some people as well who've been in the industry for a while, to teach people like me during that Next to Normal time um, how to be a better actor. Like Menchu taught me so much. So did Jet Pangan. So did Jake Macapagal. All of these amazing actors really made me love my craft because they taught me what I needed to learn at that time. Yeah.
All right. I would say that in when it comes to acting, actually not just acting, but
Yeah.
any field, it's not leave it to the younger ones, give this to the older ones. No, people are there to teach.
Yes, they
like
are.
my editors, when I was starting out, and even till today,
Yeah.
I consider it a learning process every single day. My editors will say, when they're checking when they're checking the article that I've written, I think I'm gonna need you to add more to this.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna need you to get rid of this part. And it also applies to acting. There will always be someone, there will always be mentors who will share with you their best practices, especially when they see the potential in you.
Yes.
But unfortunately, some people are not like that.
Yes. Some people feel that they deserve it. They deserve something before they put in the hours. I believe in the whole concept and the rule of 10,000 hours. Once you put in those 10,000 hours, then you've quote unquote mastered something. And even if you have quote unquote mastered something, you still haven't mastered it because it's a daily learning experience. You learn from people who are younger than you. You learn from people who are older than you. You learn from people who are dead, who've been dead for a while, but they still had quotes that they could impart to you, which we've been
We've been talking about
throwing
Catherine Hepburn.
quotes left and right
Yes.
that really stick with you, and you apply it to your life, and you grow as whatever field you want to be a part of, whether it be journalism or acting or media or being a singer or being whatever you want to be. Don't be cocky. You can always
Never.
learn.
Never be cocky.
Learn. It's a daily thing.
There's a difference between being confident and being cocky.
Yes.
Because when you're confident, like, okay, I can do this. That's being confident. Cocky is like, I can do this. No.
Dali.
The-
Confidence is, I can do this, and I know my capabilities as a person. Sometimes people assume that if you think that you're super ma-pride if you know who you are and you're able to deliver because you feel like you're confident enough to do it.
yes.
But like there are some people who are also like, oh, I don't want to say that I can do this because then people might think that I'm narcissistic or full of myself or whatever.
Exactly.
Exactly. Sometimes you gotta say it out loud. Sometimes you gotta tell the universe, manifest. Yes, I can do this. I am capable of doing this. I know I have days when I'm not as good as I normally am, but I will push through and I will be able to do this. Even though I'm not as good as I say I am, I will still try to be the best version of myself.
And at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yes,
You know?
it is.
Above everything else, you have to be confident.
Mm.
You have to be your very own cheerleader.
Yes.
Because if you're not, if you can't convince yourself that you can do it, then how else can you convince others that you can?
RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how the heck are you gonna love somebody else?
Can I get an amen up in here?
Amen.
Amen.
See, so you gotta really love the person here, and you gotta know what you're capable of, and you gotta know what you aren't so good at either, so you can be the best version of yourself.
Exactly. The things you're not good at. This is what I did with it. I sat down with it. I acknowledged it.
Yeah.
And then I asked myself, and we do have this as actors, as performers. We do have conversations with ourselves in closed doors because when people hear us talking to ourselves, you're just gonna think we're crazy.
Oh no, in the steam room back in the day for Angels in America when I had to go through my lines every single day, people were like, "Are you okay?" Because I'm literally saying these lines out loud because I'm basically monologue heavy. So I gotta like say these lines every single day, even when I'm not working. I'm just after working out, I get into the steam room, sit there in my towel for because I needed to sweat it out because I needed to lose a little bit of weight. So
Yes.
I say my lines, and sometimes a little bit louder than I should.
I don't have the courage.
You gotta do what you need to do. You gotta do it so that you're capable of handling anything that life throws at you. If you need to do it, you need to do it.
I remember for an indie film that I did 15, 16 years ago, there were a lot of emotionally charged lines, and it wasn't something that I could just say anywhere. So I got inside my car, and that's where I practice. But yeah, normally when I talk to myself, and I'm sure we all talk to ourselves, for the things that I lack, I sit down with it, I acknowledge, and I ask myself, how can I make this better?
Exactly.
But when I am stumped for answers, I don't give up though. I'm stumped for answers. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put you in the back burner. We will talk again another time.
Yes.
When things are better, you and I are gonna sit down and talk again.
Yes. Very true.
That's the way to confront your what's the word that I'm looking for? That's the way to confront your shortcomings.
Yes.
If you have misgivings about your shortcomings, you can always revisit them.
And another thing, like for example, you don't necessarily require it in your current life.
Mm.
Like, for example, I can dance. If you make me dance, I'll learn it, right? It's part of the play, so I'll learn. But I'm not a dancer. So I'm not going to focus on that to make me Markki Stroem the dancer because I'm not a dancer. I know that's not part of my talent skill set. Like I can learn dances, but I am not an actual dancer myself. So, knowledge management. This is not something for me.
Okay.
So if I need it, I'll do it, whatever. But it's not something I will focus on for my career.
Exactly.
I will focus on what I'm good at. I'm an actor, I'm a host, I'm the singer. I will focus on those things
At least you know you can dance if you have to.
if I have to.
Because in my case, I can't dance to save my soul. Not even with a gun to my head, I can't dance.
But that's what I said too.
really.
That is what I said. And then, I did a musical called Camp Rock, and I surprised myself and my family. My mom said, "You can dance." And I said, "Thank you, mother." Because I remember when I was very young, my mom came up to me and because I was just offbeat. And she was like, "You can't dance. Don't even try." And so that sticks to your head that you can't dance. You can't dance. And like, as you grow older, you just feel like, no, I can't dance. My
Yeah.
mom said I can't.
And then you surprise yourself.
You can surprise yourself. You just have to put your mind and your heart to it. You're not going to be a dancer, but you can act like you can dance.
All right, that's fair. I
Yeah.
would say that's fair. So, with that said, of course, there are challenges that you face during your journey as a performer. How did you surmount these challenges? Because a lot of people, particularly those who are in the showbiz industry, in people in the arts in
Yeah.
general, sometimes these challenges are enough for them to give up. How did you surmount these challenges and become Markki Stroem that you are now?
So many challenges. But you know what? At the end of the day, first of all, there are haters. Lots and lots of haters, and they will not like you. And that's completely fine. It's fine that they don't like you because you don't need them in your life. The more they talk, the more you lose self-esteem. So block them. Don't listen to them. They don't need to exist. I mean, it's more like, it's not that I hate you, like you hate me. It's more like I just don't need that for my mental health. Again, I spoke about this during a TED Talk. During the pandemic, I did a TED Talk with Lenny Robredo. She was there as well,
Wow.
and that was a fantastic experience. But during this TED Talk, I actually spoke about the mental health that I endure on a regular basis. I have ADHD, like severe ADHD.
Give it here, so do I.
Yes. So my mind jumps from one thing to the next. Initially, I thought that was going to be a problem. Like, it's harder for me to memorize lines. It's harder for me to focus. But, like, after a certain point in time, you realize that ADHD works in a funny way, wherein if you do what you love, then you're focused AF. So, when I am focused, I give 150,000% if I love it.
Same.
So, certain things, like for example, Tagalog, I had a hard time memorizing Tagalog, talking in Tagalog.
Uh-huh.
Eventually, I realized, what are you good at, Markki? What do you like to do? Accents. You're good at accents. You know how to talk in a Jersey accent if you need to put it on. I learned certain things and how to be a better actor by learning accents. And I realized Tagalog is an accent. Bisaya is an accent. If I do this over and over again, I'll be able to
pull it.
talk the way they need me to talk and be an actor as opposed to just regurgitating lines.
I love how you say regurgitating lines.
Because that's how it works sometimes. In our industry, in film or TV, they'll give you the script and they expect you to regurgitate the lines because you don't have enough time to create the character.
There is no character. There is no. I wouldn't say character development, but yeah, there are some. There are some that when I watch certain TV shows. No offense to the creators of said TV shows.
It's not their fault. It's just the time restrictions and
Yes.
the money restrictions.
But sometimes I'm like, that ruined the scene. How the line was delivered ruined the scene. But, thank you, for opening about your life and work. We'll know more about your passions when we return, and we will be continuing that
yes.
here on Spotlight.
Nasa kamay mo ang swerte, ngunit hindi ito isang laro na para lang sa'yo. Dahil bukod sa pag-asang maging milyonaryo, ang pagtangkilik mo sa loto at ipapang produkto ng PCSO ay nakakalikom ng pondo para sa mga programang pangkalusugan, tulong at serbisyong medikal at kawang-gawa.
Lahat ng minimithi makakamtan sa PCSO.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still on Spotlight, the Daily Tribune's digital lifestyle show. Sorry, I seem to not be myself today. Markki, what does a day in your life look like?
A day in my life, I am a morning person. I like saying that. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning, or I'd like to think, RX, do not quote me, but I like to wake up at 5 a.m. and get to work before 6. There are times when there is traffic, but I usually get there before 6. And it's from 6 to 10 is the radio show. It's the morning rush, and we've been very lucky to have a really good following called the Rushers, and they send us coffee every morning and listen in on our Facebook Live at RX931 on Facebook, and that's every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. where everyone just chimes in and they become sort of a family. We have listeners from all the way in Australia up to Canada, Middle East, and it's just so great to see that we were able to be there for the people who are homesick, who you want to come home after work in whatever country they're at and feel like they're in the Philippines by listening to our podcasts. Again, we're
A little taste of home.
yeah, we're the for Spotify we go up and down, but we're one of the top podcasts on Spotify, and we're reminded every year that we have a podcast because we just talk every morning. It's a live radio show where we talk entertainment. We stay away from religion, stay away from politics. We just focus on making people smile. It's a comedy show. So, we talk about Drag Race. We talk about Survivor. We talk about everything under the sun.
I am so sorry to say this, but I am not updated with Drag Race. As a
Oh.
matter of fact, the only season I saw was the one with Bianca Del Rio.
Oh, I love Bianca.
And I did get the opportunity to meet Bianca
I
in
love
2019 when she first got here. And when we were talking, Bianca threw a few curse words here and there because I was holding my friend's phones.
Yeah.
And she said, "You better get up here, B, the B word.
bish.
Come over here, MF. Why do you have so many phones?" Because I was holding my friend's phones.
Yeah.
And it was on camera. I didn't know what to say. You know what I said? I'm a drug dealer.
Oh no.
And then he was like, oh!
Oh no.
Yeah,
well,
but-
I'm sure she enjoyed that.
Yeah, she did. And she was wearing something ridiculously short. And I said, Bish, where's the rest of your dress? Oh, I didn't bother with it. But he was wearing, she was wearing this hair, she was wearing this wig
Yeah.
that was really high and heels so tall. If she took the hair off and the shoes off, Bianca's not exactly that
She'd
tall.
probably
He's
be
probably the
our
same height
height,
as we
yeah.
are. But with the heels and the hair, she was towering over
Yes,
me.
because the higher the wig, the closer to God. Yes. That's what they say. So,
I don't need to touch my hair.
yeah. So yeah, that's something I actually did last year. Something I learned last year, because I say I learn something new every year.
Okay.
Was to be a drag queen. I had to do a series called My Delivery Girl on Signal Play, where I had to be a drag queen. And I said, I don't know if I can because I'm not a drag queen. I am, I wear shorts and t-shirt every morning to work,
Yes.
and that's how I function. And they said, well, you're an actor. And I said, yes, I am an actor. So how do you become a drag queen? You have to learn how to be a drag queen before you can play a drag queen.
Yes.
So I was taken under the wing of Brigading from Drag Race
Brigading
Philippines,
Aricheta.
and MC Black, or Maria Cristina
Okay.
Black, who is in Drag Den, and they became my quote-unquote drag mothers, and they taught me how to be a
Yeah,
drag queen.
mothers. Okay.
So I had to, well, it was an 8-episode thing, and I had to do it within 2 weeks, and it did well on Signal Play. It maintained one of the top spots, and we were trending on TikTok and all over the place. And nowadays, people are asking me to do drag left and right. Like they'll get me to host a Drag Den premiere. Vice Ganda got me to host his Unkaboga Ball last year.
In drag.
Well, I was more androgynous for that. But at the end of the day, because I learned how to be a drag queen and I learned how to, embody that persona, it's a superpower. I can now like be this hyper masculine guy one day and then a drag queen the next. And that's completely fine.
New skill unlocked.
New skill unlocked. Every
Yeah.
year there's a new skill to unlock.
Maybe sometimes more than one.
Yeah, because I
Sometimes more than
remember
one.
2 years ago, the skill that I unlocked was esports caster.
Oh, I unlocked that last year too.
Yes, I'm a Pokemon. For the Pokemon company, I have become an esports caster for their league.
Awesome.
And this year, I already unlocked a new skill. Pokemon gym leader for Pokemon Philippines. So now I am a gym leader, and I have put together a team, but I cannot talk about what typing I will be putting up yet. But it is a team of very, very strong Pokemon that I've been putting together. And what they have to do is register on Pokemon Philippines, and I think there are now over 200 registrants, and they have to battle 10 gym leaders, and once they get all the badges, then they can compete to become the Philippine Elite Four. So it's very nerdy, very geeky, but that is my life. I am a Pokemon player, and I make money as an actor to supply my addiction.
Now, I think, I can pretty much relate to that.
Yes.
Although, I played Pokemon Go some years ago, but I got addicted to something else.
Ah.
Genshin Impact.
Yes, I've heard so many people who've gotten into that as well.
I've gotten into it, and, in gamer speak, I'm somewhat of a whale.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm trying not to be because
A whale meaning
A whale is-
are you bulky, or do you? No, I mean
I'm just kidding.
I mean, is your character more of a defensive type?
Well, the characters they're not necessarily defensive. When you say whale, your account has virtually almost all the characters, and a lot
Okay.
of them are built to the best that they can be.
Okay.
It does require some serious cash. That's why they call it. I don't know why they call it whale, but of course, with these games,
Well,
sometimes you tend to
same
spend.
with Pokemon Go. I've spent so much money on Pokemon Go, and like it's broken up multiple relationships where they're like Pokemon or me, and I'm like,
Pokemon.
Pokemon has been with me since I was 12. I have grown up with Ash Ketchum. He's won, and I'm still here. Congratulations, Ash Ketchum. You have won. He is the champion now. But like, the thing is, if I had not stuck to my gut and just kept doing what I love, which is Pokemon, I wouldn't have gotten this job for the Pokemon Company. I am now 19 events with the Pokemon Company. And I just launched their newest game, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That was in November, end of November last year at Robinson's Manila. And it was great because I got to bring in all of the Pokemon fans who came to watch and really support the game and work with the Japanese folk who it was a choice. Like literally it was tough because it was either I launched the Pokemon game or I did the rerun of Mula Sub 1. Pokemon game, I talked to the head of this company in January last year, and he asked me to launch this game January. Okay. Mula Sub 1 asked me to do the rerun in June, and I said yes, but then they decided to lock us in 3 weeks before said week. Meaning, the weekend before the show was when I would be theoretically doing the Pokemon event, and then the weekend after, I'd be doing Mula Sub 1 already.
Okay.
But since we were locked in the week before, I was not allowed to do the Pokemon event. But
Right.
the thing is, that came first. So at the end of the day, it was tough. It was a hard decision, but I had to stick to my word.
Yes.
And whatever came first comes first.
Yeah, because we
And
all have to.
they did a fantastic job. I loved listening and hearing about how well the second run went, and the original run did equally as good. So I'm just very excited to see what else will happen with this amazing musical next year. This year, 2023.
It is
Yes.
2023.
There is something actually in the works, but I'm not at liberty to talk about it yet. But this is gonna be exciting for people who have not yet watched Mula Sub 1 and are maybe not in the Philippines. So
Well,
but
Whatever it is, you are going to call me and tell me about it, right?
I shall. But it'll probably be announced within the next couple of weeks. But it's gonna be exciting because it'll probably be me again, huh?
Well,
I'll be playing Baby Christian again. Who knows? So watch out for that.
Well, we
watch
will
out
see.
for that.
I'm definitely going to watch out for that. So, being an actor is fantastic. I know this for a fact. I've experienced this firsthand. And we all have our own, people who inspired us
Yes.
in the industry. In your case, who was the local and international actor or actress that you consider as your inspiration?
International. Let's start with international.
All
I love this guy. I've watched him grow as an actor. American Horror Story to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, I already know who you're talking about.
Now, one of the best actors, beastly actors in this field, who like really upped his game as a serial killer very recently. I mean, I don't enjoy the fact that what Jeffrey Dahmer did, but
Nobody
he
does.
portrayed it so well. As an actor, he is an icon, and I've loved him even before he was on this show. But Evan Peters,
Evan
if
Peters
you're
is Evan
listening,
Peters.
if I could just take a photo with you once, I could, retire. No, I'm never gonna retire. I could just
We're
continue
never
doing what I
gonna
love
retire.
to do. I'm never gonna retire. I'm gonna do the grandfather roles. I'm gonna do the great grandfather roles. I tell you, and it's because of this guy. This guy has really allowed me to become the character actor that I am. Because I don't see myself as some matinee idol. I see myself as someone who can really change into whatever they need me to be. Because, I mean, with that in mind, last year was crazy. I call it the compass year for me. I did
compass year.
everything. I did two opposite roles on the LGBT spectrum, which is this straight acting gay guy in a Taiwanese streaming show called Love at the End of the World. And a drag queen from My Delivery Girl. So that's two completely different parts of the gay community. And then on the straight side, I did Christian in Mula Cebuan, who is this kind soul who's a little bit on the spectrum, a bit autistic to a certain extent, who
Yes.
looks at the world in a beautiful way, to a rapist in Virgin Forest, Brillante Mendoza. Like, yeah. So, as an as an actor. And so each of these roles.
Let's
were-
make it clear, as an actor.
as an actor.
Yes.
So these are 4 different roles that I had to really put my heart and soul in and be completely different person. And that is what Evan Peter does. Going back to him, he
Going back to
is
Evan
able
Peters.
to go into a character and just be. He is a method actor, and that is what I've always been. I jump into the shoes of this character, and I really, what would this person do? How would this person talk? How would this person walk? How would this person act in this given situation? And that's what Evan does, and that's why I love him. He's fantastic.
He is fantastic, I would say. I first encountered him in American Horror Story. The first one with Dylan McDermott,
Yes.
Connie Britton, Taisa Farmiga.
Oh, I love Taiza.
Yeah, she's beautiful. And she's great, but I love her sister even more.
Oh, Vera.
Vera, I first saw her in, believe it or not, Autumn in New York, Winona Ryder, Richard Gere, year 2000, and then
I'm a fan.
she did the Manchurian Candidate in 2004, Quid Pro
Conjuring.
Quo, Conjuring, yes, but for me, one of her best work, Orphan. No, not Orphan, sorry, Joshua.
Oh, yes, I think I've heard of that.
Joshua.
I'll go check that out.
That was brilliant. But for me, if we're gonna talk about like an actor that is very inspiring, I like the unsung heroes. I like. I can't say Chandra Wilson as Dr. Miranda Bailey is an unsung hero because she's a household name, but Kim Raver. I am a huge fan of Kim Raver. Not only as Dr. Terry Altman in Grey's Anatomy, but she also did Audrey Raines in 24. She did Nico Riley in
Oh, I
Lipstick
love
Jungle.
24.
But there's something about the way she delivers her lines, and she's great.
Yeah.
There is intellectual range there. And one more surprised me and Emily in Paris, Kate Walsh.
Yes.
She was very surprising.
Yeah.
From serious and from slightly comedic Addison to the tragic Olivia Baker in 13 Reasons Why.
Yes.
To that masterful slapstick comedy that she did as Madeline Wheeler in Emily in Paris. That was so great.
I have to watch the second season. I haven't yet, but I watched the first.
All right.
For a female actress that I really look up to, interestingly enough, that you brought up Vera, a contemporary of hers, I guess, Toni Collette.
Of course. How can I forget? Of course.
I love this woman.
Dude, Hereditary. Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
No, but it started with the United States of Terra.
Of course. With John Corbett.
Yes.
Yes.
Where she played someone with DID, dissociative identity disorder, which means she has like, multiple personality disorder. Back in the day, that's how it was called. Now it's DID. But she played 3 different distinct people.
Yeah.
A Stepford wife, mom kind of person, a teenager,
Yeah, a very
and a boy.
angry
So-
teenager and a boy.
Yeah, so
Among other characters.
So when I watched her there, I said, "Oh my gosh, fantastic!" And from then on, I followed her career and Hereditary, everything she does.
This was during
is
the late
fantastic.
2000s. United States of Terror was in the late 2000s.
Yes.
Well, we are gonna get to that more. Can you invite our viewers to support your shows?
Okay. Please, first of all, you can catch me every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on my radio show, The Morning Rush with Hazel and Chico. Again, that's on RX 93.1. While you're on your way to work, stop by. We're just a fun show. We're a little vulgar sometimes, but it's all in the fun of life. And just catch us. And of course, it's still streaming, so check out My Delivery Girl on Signal Play. We're number 2 currently on the charts over there. And the other one that you can go check out as well is my movie with Brillante Mendoza called Virgin Forest with Sid Lucero. It premiered in a festival, but it's now out on Viva Max. So go check it out over there. I'm basically in all the different platforms, and then of course, Love at the End of the World is on Gaga Ulala, and you can watch out for more of Mula sa Buwan, which is coming back, I think, this year. But don't take my word for it. Just watch out for the Mula sa Buwan page on Facebook or on Instagram or on TikTok to find out more information about that. And congratulations to Gab and Mike Solomon, because they will be getting married very, very soon. My co-stars.
Oh, congratulations and best wishes to the both of them.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Markki, for this inspiring talk. Our pleasure to have you here with us today.
Great to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Watch Spotlight every Friday, 2 p.m. on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube. Thank you, mga katribu. Once again, I am Matthew Pirante-Pérez, and this has been Spotlight.